Hi everybody, my name is Denzel Robinson, one of the hosts of In the Frame from Forest Park TV Club, and today we are here for the Master Class Speaker Series, and we'll be having guest appearances from Vickie Newton from KMOV News Channel 4 and William C. Harris, Funeral Director. And it is here live from the Mildred E. Bastian Center of Performance Arts.
Vickie Newton is an Emmy award-winning anchorperson, philanthropist, and concert pianist. She has worked as an anchor for CNN Headline News, among many other reputable local news stations, and can currently be seen on KMOV Channel 4. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Vickie Newton.
Kristen, thank you so much for the introduction. I have to tell you that I just received a job offer from Mr. Harris. He asked if I would play at funerals. I'm happy to see him and to meet his wife, but I'm really only glad to see you outside of your place of business. So thank you very much, sir, but no thank you. It is a pleasure to be with you this morning. I'd like to thank Dr. Hall and Ellen Sherberg of the St. Louis Business Journal, Angelique and Debbie, and all of you for the opportunity to just chat a little bit about how we can make a success of our lives. And I might add that one of my friends and homegirls from Arkansas is part of the leadership team here at Forest Park, Pat McHugh. And so I'm glad to see all of you, and it's just a special day for me. I taught for 3 semesters at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. I taught broadcast journalism an 8 o'clock class after working until 11 o'clock at KMOV. So I'm quite accustomed to talking at length, so you may have to turn my mic off. But my students, for the most part, were kind and generous and fantastic, and they allowed me to talk about life and living and sprinkle in some tips for writing for journalists. And so I want to share with you some of the things that I talked about with them. Almost 25 years ago to the day, I started my career as a reporter. I worked initially at the ABC affiliate in Little Rock, Arkansas. Arkansas is my home state, and I am quite proud to be what my brother and I affectionately call a hillbilly. I was excited, nervous, and oh so determined to be my best. I wanted my family and my friends to be proud. I wanted my bosses to be pleased, but most importantly, I wanted to feel that I had done my job well. This was something I had wanted to do since I was really small, and along the way I had set some goals. The first goal my dad actually set for me, which was to have a job as a teenager. And so he suggested that I work at the fast food restaurant in the next town over, which is Camden, Arkansas. I grew up in a small town, the name of which is Bearden, Arkansas, and there are about 1,200 people in it. So when it was time to get a job, my dad said, you know, we've made a few phone calls, you can work at McDonald's in the town over. I said, that's great, I don't mind, but do you mind if I try to find my own job? So the country music station was hiring a DJ. I was 15, almost 16, and no one else applied but me. So I got the job. So that's kind of how I started. And I worked there through high school, went to college, worked at the NPR affiliate for a year or so, and then started working at the ABC affiliate in the town, Jonesboro, Arkansas. I went to Arkansas State University. And again, it was a situation where nobody wanted the job because most folks were way cool and kind of partying on the weekends, and I was not cool and not partying, so I worked. But you know, it was okay. Here I was in Little Rock right out of college, and I thought, I'm off to a good start. It meant a lot of hard work, and I don't mind hard work. Long hours, and because I was the newest staff member, it meant proving that I could handle the deadlines, the writing assignments, and the pressure of live TV, people talking in your ear while you're still talking, which makes you just a little strange if you're able to listen to that and not repeat it. Within 3 months, I was promoted to weekend anchor, and after another 3 months, I moved to Kansas City to be a reporter. I so believe that doing your best should be a daily guidepost. Now, of course, there are days when you may phone it in, but those days really need to be the exception. Creating a legacy of hard work does not allow for much downtime. Sure, you do need to know when you need a break and you need to take a break, but understand the value of your commitment to doing well. Not merely doing just enough to survive, just enough to do okay on performance evaluations, but enough that you know you have excelled. In my opinion, the most important person to impress is yourself. The person with whom you compete is yourself. The person who needs to have standards is you. Who cares if your friend, your roommate, your schoolmate is nonchalant about life? After all, you're young, you have time, right? Well, I want to tell you, in a month or so, I will be 46, and time moves oh so quickly. Now is the time to build your firm foundation for success. If your college career is going well, don't change speeds. When you graduate, keep your foot on the accelerator. No cruise control, pump it up, rev it up. Idling, not allowed yet. There are 3 things I want to suggest that you keep close by as you grow and mature professionally and personally. And at the top of that list, I'd like to put what I consider the go-to attribute. That's resilience. Resilience is that non-negotiable, inexplicable force that keeps you going. Regardless of how difficult your circumstances are, you are still standing. And once you are able to stand fully upright, you'll start moving again. Resilient people can bounce back from adversity and setbacks. You've seen those blow-up figures? You know, you punch them, they just pop right back up. You hit it again, it just pumps right back up. I think that is a good role model. The experts say resilience is related to confidence, self-efficacy, flexibility, optimism, and here is a bit of news I'm happy to hear. They think resilient people have something in common. That is a belief in something bigger than themselves, which is what Mr. Harris talked about. There is a spiritual component, in my opinion, in the people who just won't quit. Life can be filled with many unexpected downturns, so please don't allow those times in your life to define your entire life. Call them phases, stages, but they do not make the sum total of your life. Sure, it takes time to redefine and recreate after a challenge. So take that time. That's when you might want to consider putting it on cruise control while you retool. And when you're ready, get right back to the task at hand. And for those of us who believe in the Bible, my favorite verse, we know Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. So even if you are stinking up the place right now, God can make that foul odor like perfume. He can take that awful time and bring some good out of it. Secondly, I'd like for you to keep in mind courage. It's worth cultivating. Social activist Maggie Kahn said, quote, "Speak your mind even if your voice shakes." As you evolve, please don't allow your success to silence you. Wrong is wrong, and be willing to challenge it even when you are afraid and standing alone. You see, courage is not being unafraid. It is being afraid and still taking a stand. Sometimes your courage will be called on to move you to a new platform, and often we allow ourselves to take a nap, to stop dreaming. Too much to lose, we say. I don't want to challenge the status quo. Well, it will take courage to do so, to embrace new opportunity when the one that you have is already good enough, but it could be better. So have the courage to see if it is. Thirdly, compassion. When I first became a reporter, several of the more seasoned photographers said to me, "Hey, look, you've got to knock it off. You cannot cry at every story. You cannot save every family. You keep giving out these little crumpled up $1 bills to people. It's not really helping them. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but you cannot save the world." And they really were giving me good advice, but my heart hurt more times than not. The devastation of bad decisions, untimely misunderstandings and human frailty helped me grow up really quickly. When you have a front row seat to people's suffering, you either grow up or you give up. In February of 1987, I was 21. By June 1st, I was about 36. But I was also acutely aware of the pain and the suffering of others. So now, instead of crying while on a news story, I would at least wait until I was back at the station, and now I wait until I'm all the way home. It also made me look for ways, though, to help others. Whatever career you choose, I encourage you to always work with your eyes wide open. Be sensitive to the heartbreak around you. Your compassion may save someone else's life, and if not someone else's, it can save yours by keeping your heart open and tender. I'm really excited for you, and I believe success is a personal definition. There is so much to do, so much to learn in life. Yes, work hard. I did suggest that you do that. But by all means, enjoy time with those you love and those who love you. That recess, that respite will renew and rejuvenate you, permitting you to work when it is time to work. That is what often makes dreamers and doers one and the same. God bless you.
Thank you for watching the Masterclass Speaker Series. I'm your host, Denzel Robinson from In the Frame. Thank you.